Hey everybody, I'm Tony Fleming from Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Thanks for joining me on today's I Say Smile making video, because you know what? When you're watching this video, you can't help think about tailgate parties, or maybe you grew up in the 70s or 80s or whatever, when these were like cool regular cars. Now they have become these exotic classics that are just amazing. This one in particular here is basically a brand new car. We say, Tone, how do you get a brand new 1970 Bronco? Well, you start with a brand new body that you buy, right? They reproduce these bodies instead of starting with a rusty body and fixing the dents and all that stuff that goes on there. New engine, new transmission, new wiring, new gauges, new carpet, new dash, everything, right? Everything. And right now, this one's showing 355 miles on it, right? As you watch these continue to go up in value, watch Barrett Jackson. Some of these are selling for significantly more than this, and it's why I think this is priced so well, and why I think if you can find a way to get it in your garage, you need to do it sooner than later. So how do these vehicles become $200,000 plus vehicles? Well, for instance, they start with the new bodies that we talked about. Big wheel and tire packages, twin shocks and springs in here, new steering box, all the components inside here. That's why I want to spend a second just showing you. And then I always get this question or this statement from people, and that is, wow, Tone, that's a great looking car. But a lot of times we don't know why it's a great looking car. I like to point out some of those things. For instance, and this is why I say some cars are nicer than others. For instance, here, these are stainless rivets, right? Stainless rivets. This right here, these are billet hinges. Normally they would just be stamped steel hinges, but these are really, really nice hinges. All of these new parts, from glass to mirrors, all of this is new. Like, you're not starting with an old Bronco and making a new one out of it. You're starting with basically a new Bronco and making a really, really nice Bronco. All right, if you don't mind, hit the like button down below. That helps get our message out. I really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. We have new stuff coming out all the time. And don't forget to share this with your friends. They might like it as well. And I'd love to hear your comments about your favorite Bronco or field party experience. One of the lessons I like to talk about when we're looking at these vehicles here is paint. And what I say is look at the paint, but what I say also is look what's in the paint. You say, Tone, well, look at the paint, don't look at the paint. What do you mean by that? Well, here's what I mean by that. So instead of looking at how beautiful and shiny it is, let's look a little bit farther and let's look and see what's in the paint. Look at the ceiling, the lighting, all of these things that you see in here. The crisper and clearer that is, the shinier the paint is, right? When paint is rough and has orange peel and what have you, it doesn't reflect back as well, so it's not as shiny, and photos could be manipulated. It's why we do the video here. So, like for instance here, as a nice little test, you come up and you look right at that, and boom, and you can see exactly all the letters, everything in there, nice and clear and crisp. All right, so we have two types of clients. Ones that just want a cool car, beach, house, drive to work once in a while, right? Others we have that want to go to car shows and things like that. This is really set up for both of those, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So back in the day, you'd get a stick that would hold this up. These are all the nice touches that make for this vehicle to make it so much different. For instance, here we have this giant aluminum radiator. It's roughly 50% bigger than the original one. Keep everything nice and cool. In here we have a 302 aluminum head V8 made by Blueprint, right? In between the 350 to 400 horsepower mark, okay? Power disc brakes all the way around, the Willwood setup. We have power steering here. It's all modernized. Everything in here is new, from wiring to cabin filters to the fuel injection system in here. And like a lot of things that determine the values of vehicles is the effort and the parts that go into it. I'm sharing with you with some of those things so you can understand. Like an engine like this is $9,000. The fuel injection system is another, say, $4,000 or $5,000 by the time you buy it, install it, labor, like all this stuff. This has ceramic coated exhaust system so it doesn't rust and it looks really nice for a really long time. Inside here are stainless fasteners around. You say, well, Tone, who cares about a stainless fastener? How much is that? It can't be much more. That's not the point. The point is that somebody went the extra steps to install those kinds of things. And super clean. If you want to go to a car show, want to go to Cars and Coffee, you'll feel super proud opening up the hood, showing everybody all the cool stuff in here, and everything is just really, really nicely done, from everything being painted. Trust me, an original Bronco would never be this nice, right? They were making hundreds of thousands of them, and now when you start with one that's built by somebody that's all they do for a living is build these types of vehicles, it's really, really nice. All right, so we're talking about versatile, right? The simple thing is this is one of those vehicles that was kind of the originator of the tailgate party, right? This is where we hung out. This is what we did. All that kind of stuff. So also too, I'd like to spend a second to show you how this works here. I want you to see detail here. For instance, all of this is all truck bed line, meaning like the Rhino line, hard coating all the way around so it could be hosed out. Indoor, outdoor carpet, super nice seating in here. Now, you got storage for more if you want, or you can bring everybody in. Bring that up right like that. We got seats here. We got seat belts in here. We got roll bars in here. We have a convertible top that sits and nestles right in here. It's quick and easy to put up, so in case you need to do that. And then all of this is super nice. New taillights, new chrome, new bezels, all of these little things that make for, I don't know, just a much nicer vehicle. The sound system here is kind of a weatherproof sound system too. And just, I don't know, I get excited about it because I know what it takes to build one of these, and this is really, really nice. All right, so why is this shot important? Because this is some of the detail stuff that determines how a vehicle rides, how it handles the beach, the sand, the snow, stuff like that, right? So we looked at the dual shocks up front. Here we have a full new suspension back here. This is a Curry replica of the Ford 9-inch rear end, so it's a much heavier duty. When I say that, many race cars and things like that purchase this rear end. Not that you're going racing, but it's the heaviest duty thing that you can buy. Then you see the inside here, the cross-drilled and slotted four-wheel Willwood disc brakes all the way around. Polished exhaust that's here. Again, not any of these one thing makes for a fabulous car, but all of these things is a recipe for a much nicer car. All new chrome and stainless. The gas tank here is a custom-made gas tank for the fuel injection system, so it's sealed, right? And it's just really, you can spend as much time underneath of this car as you can on top, and it's beautiful. All right, just some of the other nice touches we talked about. This has twin shocks inside here. This has a TDK lift on it as well. All like really nice parts. That's why I like you to spend a little time looking at the pictures undercarriage of this vehicle. And little stuff like, for instance, that's just a nice, I mean, you don't have to put that in a car, but it's just so nicely done. And I love the fact they put this back here. This is all Rhino lined as well. Again, we're back up to the waterproof carpets. We're going to get inside in just a few minutes, but I just wanted you to see, A, how that works, B, how nice that door sounds, and how that tucks up out of the way if you decide to go off-road. Okay, so now we're in, and I want to run over just some of the, you need to see stuff, and I'll tell you why you need to see stuff, because when we build cars, we know it's expensive parts, right? For instance, these billet hinges in here with stainless bolts are really nice. The dash itself is overly restored and beautiful, right? Because the paint on this is nicer than most cars I've seen in the past. This matching dash cap with the white stitching here and the white quilted stitching here and the rear seat and the door panels, and it carries on all through the back there, right? And then you talk about little things, and you may not say, well, Tone, how can a billet column be a big deal? Well, this is polished, right? It didn't have to be polished, right? They could have just ordered a satin one. That would have been a lot less money. They could have put a cheap wheel on here, a cheap wood wheel. This is a very expensive steering wheel. All new gauges, right? From the temp and oil, all that good stuff there. And also, too, showing 355 miles. You know, we've done the kind of the shakedown of this. We've gotten the fuel injection system dialed in, right? We're getting the just the drivability of it. You know, when you assemble a brand new car, you got to put some miles on it. I think that you'd be really impressed with this. Stainless fasteners under here, all new wiring, the beautiful carpet. This great storage console here, like if you want to go to the beach and throw your stuff inside here, you can lock this, not worry about it. And that's why I get so excited about these. Stereo speakers are hidden inside here. This digital sound system, I know I keep talking about, but being able to stream your own music to that, playing here while you're rolling around, wherever, is it's a smile maker. You can see what it does. All right, as we close up this video, I want you to think about some of the stuff that we talked about. We talked about things, and there's a lot of stuff in here. Fuel injected aluminum head V8, overdrive automatic transmissions, super heavy duty front and rear four-wheel drive axle system set up in here, dual shocks front and rear, new frame, new body, new paint, new gauges, new wiring, on and on and on. Just about getting a new vehicle like this and just a few hundred miles on it is an awesome, awesome find. Anyway, there's a lot more listed on there. Make sure you look at the pictures underneath the car as well. Don't forget to see us on the web, and call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about it.